So this is going to be sort of a teaching video. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine that there's tons and tons of fishing videos on the web right now, and nobody, or relatively few people, actually show you what they do to catch the fish. They show themselves catching the fish, but they don't show you what you have to do in order to get to that point in the first place. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm fishing an eel imitator bait, soft plastic bait on a 3-ounce jig head. I'm fishing that on the outgoing tide. The tide is sweeping, the current is moving at a pretty decent rate over an offshore hump. The hump is dropping from about 15 feet down to about 30 feet after a couple of casts. So here you get a look at the eel imitator bait. I cast it out, let it hit the bottom, and then what I do is I pop it off the bottom as soon as I see the line go slack. I reel up the slack and just repeat that. Let it glide back down till it touches the bottom, pop it off, reel up the slack, let it glide again. So what you're doing is you're keeping the bait very close to the bottom, even as it's falling down a pretty good slope. You're sort of following the contour when you're fishing this way. I'm drifting in a backwards motion with the tide at probably about a knot and a half. So it's pretty decent tide movement over this hump. There, I've cast out, I let it drop down, popped it off the bottom, and a fish took it immediately after it came off the bottom. At this point I have no idea how big the fish is. I know it's decent, but could be anywhere from mid-30s to mid-40s. Here I get a better feeling because I've got my drag set pretty tight, and it takes at least an upper 30-inch fish, somewhere getting upwards of about 20 pounds before it'll pull any drag, and there it's pulling pretty well, just diving down towards the bottom. Here I got it back up to boat side. The water's still pretty cool. It's only about 62, 63 degrees. And that keeps the fish pretty fresh and spunkier than usual. So here the fish is tiring a bit. I've got my legs out over the side of the boat because it's pretty choppy. Putting your legs out over the side like that increases your stability tremendously. So that's my usual methodology for catching these things. Like I said, the fish are a little bit spunkier than usual. Normally when they go belly up, that's the end of the game, but this one had a little bit of life left to it. So it made another short run on me before I got it back to the boat, and this time it comes in. Lip the fish, and I use my leg as a ramp in order to not have to lift up the entire weight of the fish. Basically just slide it up over your leg and into the cockpit. Can handle fish easily up to 50, 60 pounds that way. Here I'm removing the hook and the bait. I crush the barbs on all my hooks, so it facilitates removing them. Not too important with a striper, but and a single hook like I have. But it sure comes in handy when there's bluefish around. And here I'm going to attempt to take a still picture. I have a still camera set up on an arm that swings out, attached to my anchor trolley, and then I have a remote control unfortunately what I'm going to find in this instance is that the batteries have given out on my remote control, so I'm not going to be able to take the still pic that I wanted. So here I'm finding out that I'm not taking any pictures. So that's all she wrote in that regard. I'll take my paddle off and get a quick measure. I have a tape measure adhered to the shaft of my paddle. From the fork of the tail of the fish to the nose was 42 inches on this one. So luckily I have the video to have some record of the fish. Away it goes and back down. You notice a couple of things about my videos. First one is that all of them are during the daytime. I don't fish at night. And second thing is I don't use live bait. Everything's artificial with me. And third thing is all the fish go back. So hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll be seeing you soon.